Let's talk about the CI bus or collaborative intercom. The magic of this product is that we made these boxes that do something functional, and then we tie them together with a Cat6 patch cable. So for instance, we took all the things that we've learned over the years about what they want in the observation side, and we made them into a package. The CI-ODC, or Operator Desk Console, has everything including the circuitry that the observer needs. It has a speaker, it has a microphone, it has control switches, has a volume control, and it also has a jack to plug in a wireless headset so that the operator can have a wireless headset. A lot of procedure rooms, the only thing you have is a Cat6 connecting cable that comes over to the CI MSI 22, which stands for Microphone Speaker Interface. And what this does is it connects to a speaker and some type of a microphone in the procedure room. That could be all there is to a system, is an operator console, an MSI, a ceiling speaker, and a hanging microphone. This box has everything in it for a complete sound system, and this box has everything in it for a complete sound system, and all they do is plug together on a Cat6 patch cable. Now let's say you've got a customer that wants to add up to 12 headsets. The CI HSI, or headset interface, takes 4 wireless headsets and combines them and sends them down a Cat6 patch cable to be connected into the system. The collaboration part comes in that anything that comes onto this bus can be mixed together and sent to any other place. So for instance, if these headsets are in the procedure room, you may or may not want them coming out of the procedure room speaker. You might want them to just talk to the operator. That's fine, you can do that. You might want them to have kind of a chairman override where there's one microphone that's hot and everybody else is listening, unless some kind of a priority contact changes that. There's all kinds of things that we can do with routing and signal processing, but in general, what happens is if you're on the Cat6 patch cable, the signal from this box is combined with this box so that everybody's talking together, thus collaboration. Let's talk specifically about the Operator Desk Console. It includes a professional condenser cardioid microphone on a gooseneck. It has a speaker built in with its own level control. It has buttons with indicators for listening and for listen and talk. So for instance, the assumption is that you're never going to want to talk if you're not listening. In other words, this is meant as a two-way communication. So you activate the listen, you're listening, and when you want to talk, you can push to talk. Now, this can be a latching, so it's totally hands-free. You touch that button and you tip back in your chair and you talk. If you want it to be a talk or microphone only active when you hold the button down, that's a jumper inside of here. You take the lid off, and inside the box there is a jumper that your technician moves right here in the front to tell this that this becomes a push to talk. There's also a jack on the back for a foot switch, which we'll talk more about. So you've got lots of options, and you've also got a jack here on the side for a headset. We also make this in a 4 procedure room model. Why would you want that? Because there is a shortage of doctors and professionals, so they are sharing resources in these hospitals. We have had up to 4 operating suites share a single control point or operator. What you can have is literally a sound system out here in operating room 1 tied to this button, operating room 2 tied to the second button, operating room 3 tied to the third button, and a 4th operating suite over here. If you give the doctors in the procedure room a foot switch, they can have a call-in that will announce through the speaker and flash the light that someone in this operating room needs their attention while they're talking to a different operating room. All of the control features of the other ODC are built in here. You've got the talk button, which functions just like the ODC one. You've got the listen level and the headset jack. The microphone speaker interface 2.2 stands for 2 inputs. You can have a local microphone input from a hanging microphone or a boundary microphone or a shotgun microphone. And you can also have what we call our PA bus input, which we'll talk a little more about. You also have two outputs. It's got a built-in 10-watt amplifier, 25 volt, so you can hook speakers up directly to this. It also has an input called, or output I should say, called PA bus output. So the PA bus output can send signal out to other devices like other ceiling speakers in other observation areas and that type of thing. It also has the CI bus interface to talk to other CI bus products. When used in the middle of a system, the MSI or microphone speaker interface becomes a router. This box has a ton of jumpers inside of it. Those jumper options allow your installer to direct traffic as to where the headsets are heard, where the operator signals go, how things happen, like is there music in the OR suite? Does it mute when the operator is active? Does it mute when a headset is active? All of those things are set up inside of this. This is kind of the traffic cop. The PA output is used as a lot of times a procedure room monitor, or it's used to control the background music. The PA bus output goes out to your music system and does the music muting and all that. The PA input can be used to add either a handset or a secondary microphone into the system. That might be in the case of, let's say, a delivery room, and you've got a wash basin over in the corner. The doctor is still attending to the mother, and there is a nurse or someone that's taking care of the baby over in the corner. They need a microphone to report back to the doctor on the condition of the baby. They can be given a foot switch and a microphone of their own over in the corner to talk over the same system. There's other applications for that as well. The headset interface is a unique product in that it uses standard Plantronics telephone operator type headsets, and it combines them and allows them to talk to each other. Once you've combined them all together, then they're put onto the CI bus and they can be shared with other products in the system. The thing about these Plantronics headsets is they are all designed to work digitally in an environment where it's no problem to daisy chain multiple CI-HS41s so that in groups of 4 you can keep expanding the system up to 12 headsets in a single unit. We typically don't recommend more than 2. 8 headsets is a lot of headsets in a small operating room, but you could do up to 12. It also has a PA output, so if you've got people wearing headsets, you can make a complete system out of just one of these systems with, let's say, a PA402 driving some ceiling speakers in an observation area. So that's also another possibility. The PA402 is a professional audio power amplifier with its own background music and paging inputs. It has program audio as well as page audio, meaning on the back of this thing it's got separate distinct inputs. The music comes in on both screw terminals and on a 3.5 millimeter tiny jack. So you can take a standard smartphone audio on a standard little tiny jack cable or any other type of a docking station and plug it straight in here like it was a piece of hi-fi equipment. All of the magic of ducking the music is handled through a Cat6 patch cable coming from the collaborative intercom. So all you have is this amplifier with some 25 volt speakers and a Cat6 patch cable going over to the collaborative intercom. So it becomes a very, very simple and very installer friendly music integration, so the docks can rock out to their favorite tunes just by plugging in their iPhone. Mounting options. Any one of these products is our standard metalware, so it can be rack mounted, it can be wall or under counter mounted. This is the most popular in the cath lab procedure rooms, is this under counter mount, because there's no desk space to set these things on top of the desk. We can also mount them side by side in our dual rack mount chassis, and every once in a while somebody wants to put this and this side by side in a rack mount chassis, or maybe they want to put their microphone speaker interface with a PA402 side by side. Very, very simple to do. The foot switches. We offer 2 foot switches. The FSODC is specifically designed for the collaborative intercom operator desk console. It's got a quarter phone jack, foot switch, the rubber skid pad on the bottom. This is typically for the control room and the operator so that they can activate their microphone with a touch of a foot switch and not take their hands off of any type of controls or paperwork they might be working with. The old FS1 Plus was developed originally for our older product, but it's found new life, and where it is used is typically in the OR suite where the doctor is scrubbed. He can't touch anything with his hands and he needs to signal someone in an observation area. He can just stomp on the foot switch and it will sound a tone over the operator desk console or remote ceiling speakers to alert a lab tech or someone else that, hey, you need to pay attention. Both of these use the same industrial machine grade foot switch, and it's designed for all kinds of harsh environments with a neoprene cord and that's a Neutrik speaker connector on there, if anybody wants that. It's a single gang mounting on a Deco wall plate. It can be galvanically grounded. It has that green ground wire. That is the case on the switch if anybody's concerned about that for highly oxygenated environments. Headset options. Mobility is key. People will say, well, gee, don't you have a wired option? No, we don't. Not anymore. No matter how long we made the cord, it got tangled around things, people got frustrated, and it became more of a problem and a liability. I can tell you standard wired Plantronics headsets you can buy off the internet that will plug in and work just fine, but we don't offer them. The only things we offer are the CS520 noise canceling. This is a dual muff headset with a noise canceling boom microphone. Works extremely well in noisy environments. And then of course we offer the 540, CS540 flexible lightweight, called a convertible headset because it has various options. You can mount it over the ear, behind the head, or over the head on a standard head-worn band. The key to these headsets is their clarity and how well they work. Their digital technology, which is called DECT. I don't know if anybody knows what DECT is, but I think we're now on DECT 7. But it is a digital encryption technology that allows these headsets to work in a common environment. And the only thing you have to do to pair this to its mating unit is stick it in its charging base. So the doctors don't have to color code these things red, yellow, blue, whatever, and know which base they were in. They could have their own headset and walk in, drop it into a base, and it would automatically couple to our system in the room they're in today. So they don't have to even keep them in the same room. They can move around from one OR to the other. If they want to pair to this system, just drop it in the charging base, which is also the receiving antenna. So this charging base has a cord that plugs into the headset interface, whether it's on the operator desk console or the HSI 41. You simply plug this in and all the interface is done through that cable. So what's magical about that is, see these buttons on these headsets? This is your volume control for this headset. This is your activate. All of your control for the intercom moves to this headset, and it's communicated down that cord from the receiving base to the Tech Works product. So all this magic control is in the headset. They don't have to run back over to the desk unit to turn something on or turn it off. All they got to do is reach up and touch the button on the headset, and it sends the signal, both the audio and the control signal, over to the Tech Works Collaborative Intercom. It's all magic. Microphone options. We offer a variety of microphone options for various applications. The boundary microphone is probably my favorite. It is a very cost-effective, very high-quality way of getting the audio from the operating suite out to the observation area. The challenge with that is threading the wire down the boom arms. You can't always get access to the boom arms. Some companies are finicky about letting you get into the boom arms, so that's not an option. The easiest to install is the hanging microphone. The Pro 45 hanging microphone, you simply put a jack in the ceiling, dangle it down somewhere close to the operating table, and you're good to go. The problem with it is that it has a tendency to pick up background noise. If you're in a very noisy environment, this thing becomes less of a cardioid or highly directional pickup, and it starts picking up background noise, and then they have trouble getting the doctor out of the environment. The other thing is that this thing in most of your OR suites, it has a hard time finding a home because the ceilings are so cluttered with tracks and arms and stuff. And then when you have to move this thing back out of the way, you're 10, 20 feet away from the doctor. The performance is not going to be acceptable. So easiest to install, in a lot of cases the least practical. This option, the shotgun microphone, is the best of all. The reason is it can be mounted to the wall or the ceiling, back out of the way of all that equipment and apparatus, and you just aim it at the operating table and you're done. It does a marvelous job of picking up the talker while not picking up any of the background noise. We have included everything your installer needs. We give them a wall plate with a jack, a cord to plug the microphone in, and a gimbal mount to adjust this thing and aim it directly at the doctor. We also give you a 6-inch pigtail of microphone wire off the back so your technician doesn't have to show up with a soldering iron. All he's got to do is splice the wires correctly, and the installation is really simple. We offer the ODM, which is a standalone microphone. This can be used for that nurse over in the corner. It can be used for special control or observation applications where you don't want to use our operator desk console. You want to use a microphone and a ceiling speaker. We can accommodate that. You just use an ODM, which gives you the control, and you hook it to an MSI, hook two MSIs together, and you got a complete sound system. Hidden microphones. This is used typically in observation, whether it's in child development, neonatal, or in your security and detention environments for interrogation and observation. These go on the wall and everybody ignores them. They think it's a doorbell button and they just sit there, and it's an omnidirectional microphone. Now, people have tried to use this in OR suites. Does not work very well. Gets the microphone back out of the way, but it's an omnidirectional microphone, so it's going to pick up everything in the room, and that typically is not going to give you very good results.
Speaker options. We offer two. They are both clean room certified. One is a wall mount and the other is a ceiling mount, and it includes the mounting rails. So all you got to do is cut a hole and stick it in the ceiling. Clean room means that it is a weatherproof cone with a gasket material, so there shouldn't be any dust or dirt or anything leaking into the room. You can also take a garden hose to them and hose them down if you want to. Both of them include an 8-inch ceiling speaker and a 25-volt transformer. So all of our products are 25-volt amplifiers. So these are the two speakers you would use in a collaborative intercom system. Other options, if you need to add a single speaker somewhere, like in an observation room or something, you can simply add our 1-watt modular amplifier to any system. It's got an RJ connector on it, and it gets its power directly from the MSI. So the CI MSI, you simply use a Cat6 patch cable and plug it in, and it gets its power right from there. So everything's self-contained, 1 watt, and your volume control is right here on this device, but we encourage you to leave that wide open and then control it from within the amplifier itself. But you can do it either way. You can trim it here for proper listening level. The other things we offer are, we do offer Cat6 patch cables. These are typically 568B, and again, they're Cat6, not Cat5, and PC power cords, and these come in a variety of lengths. Both these and these, the Cat6 and the PCs, come in a variety of lengths. So they come in a 1 foot, a 3 foot, a 10 foot, and then a 50 foot. I think we also have a 25, but those are typically on the shelf. They just make plugging things together much, much easier. Power to power, barrel to barrel, and Cat6 6, so it's much, much easier to plug things together. Power supply, very simple, 24 volts DC, fully regulated, runs off a 120 or 240. It comes with the metal wall bracket, which makes it very convenient for mounting under tables, desks, counters in healthcare environments, that type of thing. It's got a modular power connector, so if you were going to use this in Europe, you can get the right power adapter cable, and it plugs into a standard connector on the power supply itself. The entire unit is UL listed for both North America and Canada, as well as Europe. So this power supply can go anywhere. Well, that does it pretty much for this training session. We do offer 24/7 support, 365 at techworks-usa.com. There you'll find a lot of support, a lot of documentation, a lot of reference sites and other things, specifications for architects and engineers. Try to make your job easy. These are master format specifications. We also offer design and coding assistance. We welcome questions. Email is always best. It's far easier to answer a detailed email question than it is a phone call. Technical assistance, we're happy to help, but first, please take the training, read the manual, then call tech support if you need it. But even better, drop us an email. Tell us what you got. Give us the details. Get us some plans, specs, whatever you got, scope of work if it's a design build. Well, that does it for part 2. Thank you for joining us today. Part 3 is up next, wiring and configuration.